Tourist trap. Exterior dirt road, day. An old pickup bounces down a dirt road in the middle of nowhere. An elk lays strapped down in the bed of the truck. Interior, pickup, moving, day. Two hunters, Bob and Earl, sit in the truck's cab.
Hey, Earl, why are married men fatter than bachelors?
Why, Bob?
Bachelor comes home, looks in the fridge, and goes to bed. Married man comes home, sees what's in bed, and goes to the fridge.
Bob and Earl share a belly laugh. Earl sticks his head out the window. His flabby cheeks flap in the wind, and he sniffs like a dog on a hunt.
Oh, smell bacon.
So do I.
Looky there.
Earl points to a stainless steel diner gleaming in the sun. Exterior roadside diner, day. The pickup parks, and Bob and Earl roll out of the cab wearing full hunting camouflage gear. They stand before a classic railroad car diner, sparkling clean and inviting.
Ain't never seen this place before. Where we at?
Don't rightly know. Must have took a wrong turn.
They see nothing but deserted land in all directions.
I know where we's at. Smack dab in the middle of nowhere.
On top of the diner, a silver chimney pipe releases smoke in the air. Earl and Bob sniff at it.
Sure smells good.
Darn tootin'.
Then what we waiting for?
Bob and Earl hustle towards the door. Interior diner, day. A bell rings over the door as the hunters enter the diner. It has a classic stainless and formica interior with red booths and matching swivel stools in front of a long counter. Bob and Earl take a seat at the counter and see bacon sizzling on a hot griddle. They spin on their stools looking around. No one else is in the diner, not even a cook or a waitress.
Howdy?
How about some service?
Earl taps a glass with a spoon. Ding ding! Ding ding! Suddenly, the entire roof of the diner tilts open like the lid on a metal box. A giant hand reaches in, plucks Earl up by the collar of his hunting jacket, lifts him off his stool into the air. A giant's face leans in, tosses Earl into his giant mouth, which crunches down loudly like it's biting a Cheetos puff. Bob screams as he watches Earl get eaten alive, then runs for the exit door. It's locked. Bob furiously wrestles with the door handle as the giant's hand dips back into the diner and lifts him into the air. Bob is speared on a giant fishing hook like a piece of bait and cast out into a pond. Bob flails in the water, screaming for his life, and tries to climb onto a giant lily pad. A giant trout swallows him whole and dips underwater. Bob kicks frantically inside the mouth of the trout, swallowing water and drowning. Suddenly, he's yanked out of the water and flops on dry land. As Bob spits out water and gasps for breath, the giant removes the hook and Bob from the fish's mouth and tosses the giant trout in a giant bucket. Bob remains skewered on the hook and stares in horror as the giant holds the fishing line and looks him in the eyes. The giant burps. Bob is repulsed. It smells like Earl. The giant readjusts Bob on the fishing hook, which looks excruciatingly painful, then casts him back out to the pond. Bob's horrific scream fades away as he flies 40 feet out and splashes into the water. Exterior diner, day. In the back of the hunter's pickup truck, the dead elk stares at the open sky. Interior Toyota Prius, day. Two stoners, Zack and Ethan, drive down a deserted road.
If you're done contemplating the Fibonacci sequence, can you pass me back that joint?
Dude, that shit's a brain bender.
Ethan, I've been thinking, when we get to California, maybe we should lay off the weed for a while.
What are you, high? That's why I'm moving there.
You realize if you're cremated, the smoke coming out of the chimney will get a whole town high?
What a wonderful way to go. Pass me the Doritos.
Zack hands Ethan an empty Doritos bag. Ethan crinkles it up and tosses it out the window.
Damn you to hell, man. I got serious munchies. When's the next rest stop?
No clue. I think we're lost.
They both look around as they drive. There is no sign of civilization as far as the eye can see. Zack rips the loudest, longest fart we've ever heard.
It's your Doritos.
That ain't Doritos. That's biological warfare. Pull over. I'm gonna puke.
Exterior deserted road, day. The Prius jerks to a stop, and Ethan tumbles out onto the side of the road, gasping for fresh air.
Drama queen.
Dude, that was positively diabolical.
Piss off, your farts stink too.
Yours require a hazmat suit.
As Ethan staggers to his feet, he realizes he's under a road sign that simply reads, "Nowhere."
Check it out.
A moment later, they're taking selfies in front of the sign.
We are literally in the middle of nowhere.
I wonder if they have a Taco Bell.
Oh no, but I think I smell bacon.
So do I.
They sniff the air curiously. Exterior roadside diner, day. The Toyota Prius pulls up and Zack and Ethan tumble out with a thick cloud of marijuana smoke cascading around them. They look at the diner, gleaming in the sun with its chimney pipe releasing aromatic smoke in the air.
Damn, that smells good.
I thought you were a vegetarian.
Not today.
What did the rednecks say to the vegetarian?
We're not supposed to eat animals, then why did God make them out of meat?
Why did the tofu cross the road?
To prove he wasn't chicken.
What's the best part about having a vegan girlfriend?
My nuts are her favorite source of protein.
Dude, you know all my jokes.
Interior diner, day. A bell rings over the door as the stoners stumble in.
Did you know Bruce Lee had a vegan brother? His name was Brocco Lee.
Cute.
They look around. No one else is in the diner, not even a cook or a waitress. They exchange puzzled looks.
Hello? Anyone here?
They notice bacon sizzling on the grill.
Weird.
Maybe they're out back smoking a doob. Check this out.
Zack points to a plate on the counter loaded with brownies. A handmade sign reads, "Free brownies, fresh baked."
Yeah, baby.
They clamor for the free brownies. Zack gets there first. A giant trap springs up from behind the counter and snaps closed on Zack. His torso is pinned to the counter under a metal bar like a mouse caught in a trap. Zack manages to squeeze out a weak cry for help as blood bubbles gurgle out of his mouth, one hand twitching on the plate of brownies.
Holy shit.
Ethan tries to wrestle the steel trap off Zack's back, but the spring has too much tension to lift open. The diner's roof opens. Ethan looks up to see a giant hand reaching in. He runs for the door, but the hand plucks Ethan up into the air. When Ethan sees the giant's face grinning at him, he releases a blood-curdling scream. A moment later, Ethan is an hors d'oeuvre. The giant licks his lips, savoring the taste of Ethan. Then his giant hand reaches back into the diner and pulls the spring trap off Zack's back. Too weak to scream, Zack is lifted up by the giant and tossed into the air like a peanut. The giant catches Zack in his big, wide-open mouth. Crunch! The giant chews Zack into pulp and swallows. The giant reaches back into the diner and resets the trap. He wipes the blood off the counter, then licks his fingers clean. Apparently, Zack was finger-licking good. The giant releases a loud belch. His face turns into an odd, goofy grin. Is it possible that the giant is getting high from eating the two stoners? His head bobbles about as he clumsily closes the roof of the diner. Interior, Range Rover, day. Darnell drives. Squeezed into the passenger seat beside him is his fiancée Laquisha, an over-the-top diva whose mouth won't stop moving. Tyrone sits in the back, trading frustrated glances with Darnell through the rearview mirror.
Don't you be giving Darnell that look, Tyrone.
What look?
Sad puppy dog eyes. If you treat your women with more respect, you wouldn't be sitting alone back there like a broken third wheel. You better not ruin my Vegas vacation, butting in between me and my man.
Need I remind you, this was supposed to be my last trip with Darnell before you two get married? You invited yourself along. You're the third wheel.
Shut your face before I reach down your throat and yank your scrotum inside out until your hairy balls hang out your mouth.
That makes no sense. If you yank my balls inside out, there wouldn't be hair on the outside.
You want to try it?
If you guys don't stop, I'm gonna drive us off a cliff.
Darnell turns on the stereo. A song called Poison by Belle Biv DeVoe plays loudly. Tyrone mouths along to the lyrics, sending a message to Darnell through the rearview mirror.
That girl is poison. Never trust a big butt and a smile. That girl is poison. If I were you, I'd take precaution.
Laquisha catches Tyrone in the rearview mirror and blows a gasket. She punches the dashboard until the music stops.
Shut that shit off.
Laquisha, please.
He called me poison. You gonna let him get away with that?
I was singing along. Everything's not about you, Laquisha.
You're the poison. Worse, you're cancer. If I hadn't come along, your bad influence on a fine gentleman like Darnell would have been fatal.
So if I'm cancer, then you're what? Chemo?
If that's what cures cancer, then yes, I am.
Well, FYI, Laquisha, chemo is poison.
What you say?
She swivels in her seat as much as her buxom body allows and claws at Tyrone with her long, manicured nails. The ruckus causes Darnell to swerve the vehicle dangerously.
Stop it!
Oh, that mofo busted my nail!
Darnell veers off the road and skids to a stop in a ditch. Exterior, desolate road, day. The three tumble out of the Range Rover in a cloud of road dust, still yelling at each other. Darnell pushes his way between them and forces them apart.
Enough. Time out. You stand by the front of the car. Tyrone, step to the back. Everyone cool off.
How am I supposed to cool off? You got us standing outside on a dusty road with the hot sun beating down on my curls. You know how long it took me to get ready? You want my face melting off before we get to Vegas? This better be quick. Leave him here. Let him call an Uber.
Laquisha, please. I've known Tyrone since I was 5. You're my queen, but he's my best friend. Please.
Darnell kisses her hand tenderly. She softens.
I'll straighten him out.
Make it quick. I'm hungry.
Darnell walks to the rear of the Range Rover where Tyrone is pacing with his cell phone, trying to get a signal.
You want me to take an Uber? I'm fine with that.
No, Tyrone. I want us to all get along.
I don't understand what you see in that bitch. She's toxic.
Tyrone, don't be dissing my girl.
Seriously, it's not too late. Run while you can.
We're way past that, Tyrone. In my heart, I feel she's in my life for a reason. It's undeniable.
Please, bro, I love you. I'm only trying to save you from her poison.
I heard that.
Shit, I can't get a signal. Your phone working? I got 0 bars.
Nobody's calling an Uber. Everyone take a deep breath and get back in the car.
Interior, Range Rover, day. Everyone's back in the car. It's the silent treatment now. Laquisha spritzes herself with perfume and accidentally sprays Tyrone in the back seat. Tyrone chokes back his disgust and keeps quiet. Finally, Laquisha can't take the silence anymore.
I'm hungry.
When are you not?
Don't you start with me again, Tubby Tyrone. Isn't that what they used to call him, Darnell? Tubby T?
Tyrone flashes Darnell a look of betrayal.
That was a long time ago, Laquisha.
When we stopping for lunch?
First place I see.
Where we at?
Don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? What happened to your GPS?
Stopped working when you were punching the dash.
Oh, so now you blaming me? You get us lost, and it's my fault.
I didn't say that.
I don't know why we didn't fly.
Darnell slows the Range Rover to a stop at a fork in the road.
Shit, Darnell, did you get us lost?
Don't you blame my sweet Darnell. It's your fault, Tubby Tyrone.
Tyrone powers down his window and sticks his cell phone out, hoping for a signal.
0 bars. We're in the middle of nowhere.
Laquisha powers down the window and sniffs the air.
Oh yeah, Mr. Smarty Pants? Then how come I smell bacon?
Laquisha leans out the window, sniffs deeply, and points.
That way.
Exterior, roadside diner, day. The Range Rover pulls up outside the diner and parks. Darnell, Laquisha, and Tyrone get out and look it over. The polished stainless steel glitters in the sun. The chimney pumps smoke in the air. Laquisha breathes deeply. Laquisha hustles up the stairs to the entrance.
They better have a clean bathroom.
Darnell and Tyrone notice the dead elk in the back seat of the pickup truck.
You think this place is okay?
How bad can it be?
Interior diner, day. They enter the diner and the bell over the door rings. Laquisha makes a beeline for the bathroom. Darnell and Tyrone sit in a booth by the window. They look at the menu and wait for someone to provide service.
Hello?
Can we get some coffee, please?
No one answers. Darnell and Tyrone shrug and go back to their menus. Laquisha returns from the bathroom and squeezes in the booth beside her fiancé.
You get any of that bacon yet?
No.
What you waiting for, fool?
You just called my friend a fool?
I was referring to you, Tubby T.
We haven't seen a waitress yet.
What kind of lazy-ass place is this? Darnell, if you didn't get us lost right now, I'd be in Vegas, poolside, with a plate of pork dumplings and a Mai Tai in my hand.
I thought we weren't blaming Darnell for getting us lost.
Laquisha's eyes spit poison at Tyrone.
Honey buddy, let Daddy up. I gotta use the men's room and I'll look around to see where the staff is.
I can't get up.
Ugh, I'll go.
Laquisha, I still gotta use the bathroom.
You got wax in your ears? I told you, I can't get up.
Laquisha struggles to rise, but she appears to be glued to the booth. Tyrone can't get up either.
She's not kidding, I'm stuck too.
The most they can do is force themselves an inch or two off the seat. When they try to rise, we see thick threads of sticky glue connecting them to the seat of the booth. The diner's booth is a giant glue trap.
What the fuck is going on?
Watch your mouth, sugar. We're probably on one of those candid camera shows. How's my hair?
The roof of the diner opens and the giant leans in. He appears woozy. Eating Zack and Ethan got him stoned.
This ain't no candid camera.
They scream and try to get free of the glue trap as the giant's hand descends upon them. The giant pokes at Laquisha's belly. He likes how her fat rolls and bounces. He picks her up first, tugging her so hard her dress rips off and gets stuck to the booth. Everyone is screaming as the giant lifts her up and opens his mouth. Laquisha claws at his face, leaving scratches on the giant's cheek as she's stuffed into his mouth. Instead of a crunch, we hear a squish as the giant chomps on Laquisha. It's as if the giant bites into a plump, ripe tomato. Juice squirts out and dribbles down his chin. Darnell and Tyrone look up in horror as Laquisha juice rains down upon them. We hear a loud gulp as Laquisha gets swallowed down the giant's esophagus. The giant's face turns from pleasantly stoned to disagreeable. He clacks his tongue like he has had bad taste in his mouth. Laquisha was apparently not palatable to him. The giant reaches in and pokes at Darnell, then Tyrone. He decides he will eat Darnell next and tugs him from the glue booth. Tyrone grabs onto his best friend and holds his arms.
No!
Tyrone chucks a napkin holder and nails the giant between the eyes. The giant releases Darnell. The giant appears wobbly. Sweat streams down his brow. His face turns pale. Laquisha is not agreeing with him. Darnell and Tyrone watch in horror as the giant tries to vomit her up, but he can't. She's stuck in his gut. Foamy spittle comes out of his mouth. The giant clutches his belly in agony. His face turns green and he keels over. There's a thunderous boom and his body crashes to the ground outside the diner, causing an enormous dust cloud. When the dust settles, Tyrone and Darnell look out the window of the diner booth and see the giant's twisted body laying still, dead eyes staring at the open sky. Darnell looks at Tyrone. Tyrone looks back at Darnell. Both are stunned speechless until Tyrone manages to say,
I told you that girl was poison!
The song Poison by Belle Biv DeVoe plays as we roll end credits.